Today's video feature is how do you deal with your separated spouse both during separation and after divorce. Now this is a very complicated video. It's a very complicated process, and I will tell you in advance it is much easier to be said than to be done. But it is in your best interest to try to follow the advice I'm about to give you. It is tried and true. It was hard earned. It was forged in steel, and it works. So I've used it, and I have given this advice out to friends, family, and clients especially. Now, in the separation phase, emotions are running very, very high, and most of them are extremely negative, even hostile. So it's very difficult to deal with your separated spouse on a reasonable level, but it is in your best advantage to try to do your 50%. That's all you can control. Now, initially, no one trusts someone who is being nice to them who has just hurt them so deeply. So it's going to be something that you'll have to develop consistently over time to gain their trust and respect. And it will be a very limited trust and virtually no respect. But you have to find some type of common way to deal with each other. Now, this is especially important if you have children, because your children are the only true collateral damage, the only innocent victims of divorce. You and your spouse are adults. Hopefully you've developed some type of coping skills or defense mechanisms. Your children are young and innocent. So this is why this approach is so terribly important, especially for your children. And that should be your motivation to try this. So here's a few tidbits. When they're angry, try to listen. Listen to their attacks. Listen to their what you may claim to be abuse. And listen. Oftentimes people just want to be heard, and when they take a breath or when they're finished, then you can simply say, I'm very sorry that we are here at this point. It is not what was intended to be, and I'm going to do my best on my side to meet you more than halfway so that we can get through this together with as least pain as possible. Now, that will probably result in some more attacks and some more abuse, but in fairness, that is a truthful statement. No one ever marries with the intention of winding up separated and later divorced. Something went wrong, something didn't work out, and now you're both in terrible places. So that is absolutely truthful. Now, if you don't have children, then of course you can go your separate ways and never have to look back, but it's still very important to try to leave on a cordial basis, to leave with honor and dignity, and to give them the same opportunity as well. That's just a nicer way to do things. And again, if you can't work things out, if it just isn't going to happen, then there's no reason to leave ugly. You should try to leave with honor. Now, if you do have children, you can never be fully rid of your separated spouse. That's just reality, and you are going to have to reach some equilibrium so that you can attend life events with your children, things like graduations, marriages, any number of things. So how do you do that? Well, stay away from pronouns like my. Instead, use the pronoun our children, okay? They're your children, each of you, both of you. That's the one or two things you actually did together and resulted in something truly wonderful and a blessing. So treat it as a blessing, and always recognize that your children are both yours and the others. If you square off and say my children, and then you're immediately going to raise some flags and some barriers, and you'll go back to that abuse situation we just discussed. Always remember to listen. It's kind of ironic that which you didn't do during the marriage and may have led to divorce, you have to learn again in separation and then after divorce in order to have a symbiotic relationship with your former spouse. Again, this is very good advice. It is tested, it is tried and true, but it is much easier said than done. But I wish you much success. I hope you were more successful with it earlier than I was, but I promise you, if you employ these tactics and strategies, they will work, and you will be the better person for it. If you have any additional questions, feel free to call me. My name is Robert Reeves. My mobile number 704-351-7979, or my email is robert@rjrlaw.com. Thank you.